Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Nikki B and Friends, episode 43. Hello, friends.
Hey, Nick.
What's good in the hood?
Not much, not much. Just being glad it's not 98 degrees outside.
Has it been 98 degrees outside?
That was the index.
Oh. My office is always so cold, it's hard for me to even know when it be that hot outside, because sometimes I'll be happy to get out there. Plus, I got a blanket over my legs right now, so. What's your week been like, Coach?
It's been smooth. It's been real smooth, way smoother than last week. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping my head up, shaking them. You know what I'm saying? That's me. What about you, Diddy?
Man, I'm going to have to agree with you. Way better than last week. Just keeping it moving, except for 15 minutes ago. But yeah, way better than last week. What about you, Nick?
It's been cool. A few people done got on my nerves this week. That's the norm. Today was worse than others, but you know how that go.
And it's the end of the month.
Too many bosses. Too many bosses. So.
I hear you.
All right. Didi, what is your public service announcement for episode 43?
So you ever ask somebody just, random conversation, what you doing after work? All right, go get my hair cut. Oh, okay. And then you see them the next day, and like all they did was really brush their hair forward. I'm like so confused. I'm like, how do you go get your hair cut and like your beard ain't trimmed? You got all of a sudden instead of a fade. Like, what is going on? I'm like, I don't understand that. But they think they like butter. I'm like, no. You're not. You got hairs cut. You didn't get no haircut. So
maybe they can't afford it because ain't it a little extra if you want the full treatment?
It ain't that much extra, but you can at least get a line. You don't got no line, front or back?
A line come with a haircut.
Yeah, that's generic. That's basic. And a real barber will touch up your goatee, your beard, whatever. Not do a full treatment, but like, clean you up. Don't just, no. No.
Did they really get a haircut though, or did they not?
They said they got one. So I was like, you get your haircut? Yeah, you can't tell? Oh. My bad. So I'm going to let you know if you got a real barber or not. 3 ways.
Okay, here we go.
1, if your barber don't own clippers, you don't go to a barber. You just getting some hairs cut. This is male or female, because I've seen some women with some bad haircuts. I mean, buttered. Hair look better than any dude I've never seen. Low cut. Cute. No. I don't care if they cut your hair with scissors. They still need to line up that neck and get your sideburns together. No. If your barber don't change the clippers when they fading you up, you ain't got a barber.
Yeah, they supposed to do clip on clip, keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And like I said before, if they ain't cleaning up your neck or shaping up your beard, getting the back of your neck, no. So the next time you see somebody looking tight, like they all cleaned up all around the edges, the back, the goatee on point, ask them where they go. If not, inbox Nikki, we'll give you a couple numbers. Covering yourselves accordingly.
So, Coach, you have a beard. Is that included in your haircut?
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where you would go where they wouldn't do that.
Man.
Oh, okay. Do you have to pay extra, though?
No, you just pay.
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
You know my baby a barber? Mm-mm.
Exactly. Give them a shout out so folks will know where to go.
Call Tone. They know.
Oh, Tone. They know. Okay, it's going to be a lot of brothers screaming, Tone.
Right.
Not that tone. Another tone.
There's only one tone in the barber in GR.
Okay. So you get your beard is included.
And lines. All the whole dome is lined up.
Well, I know lined up, but those are some good tips. But I would say, like, people who have, can I just add, like, and maybe I'm wrong, but people who had this little wild look, you know, like,
Crazy hair.
And previously, his barber always picked it out before cutting it and lining it.
Got you.
And then he ended up moving or whatever, but then all of a sudden, like, people wasn't doing that. They was just leaving it just almost matted. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
oh, and then it's going around it?
Yeah. Just some lazy people, but I found his barber again. I just he happened to move. So anyway, yeah. So, all right. That was your public service announcement by Dee. Go ahead, Dee. What?
One, if your barber don't use clippers, keep it moving.
Okay.
If they don't change the clippers when they cutting your hair, keep it moving. Especially when they're doing your beard. And 3, if they don't clean up your back of your neck, shape your beard and line you, find a new one. Find a new one. And y'all can call Tom.
Right. You heard it here, your public service announcement by Dee. So you can know what to look for in a barber. So, this week's episode is the episode that we normally talk about the news. However, to me, it seems to be the same thing in the news. So it's like we constantly talking about the same things in the news. So I had the idea of doing the biggest 20 trials in the past 20 years. That's what I pulled up. But before I do that, I got to apologize. I have to thank our sponsors for episode 43. And the sponsor for episode 43 is Team Marshall and Say It Out Loud Comedy, the Bill Hill stand-up comedy show. They have 2 shows that will be playing 6:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Doors open at 6:30 for the 7 p.m. show. Doors open at 9 o'clock for the 9:30 show. Tickets are $20 for admission, first come, first serve. Free refreshments and parking, 50-50 raffle, tons of laugh, seating is limited. You can go online to Ambrosia Theater, that's where it's at, or you can contact for tickets, 616-710-7596 or 616-340-0408. On Saturday, August the 17th, 2019, the flyer will be on the page of Nikki B and Friends. So make sure that you check out that comedy show. And if the weather goes right and nothing of emergency comes up, I will be in the building for that comedy show. Okay. So back to the topic for the evening. I did the 20 biggest trials in the past 20 years. So 20 years, biggest trials. So did you guys get the list?
I got it.
I did.
Were you surprised what made the list?
I'm surprised what didn't.
Like what?
The Casey Anthony.
Yeah, I was surprised that one didn't make it either. And so, of course, do we want to go from the low, because we're not covering all of them, but I do have information on all of them in case we have time. So do you guys want to go from the top to the bottom? Or the bottom to the top?
Let's go top to bottom.
All right. Number one, of course, on the list, which no one would be surprised, is O.J. Simpson. I think O.J. Simpson's trial had to be the biggest trial because that trial interrupted even soap operas. They stopped playing soap operas to play that trial live. That's how big that trial was.
Wow.
Everybody remembers where they were.
Yep.
You said what?
I was going to say the same thing.
Right. So where were you, Dee Dee, when the verdict came out?
At work with everybody else watching it on TV in the break room.
So was it cheering and silence, or
it was both? It was the and then yeah from the two brothers from the stock room. But for the most part,
okay, Coach, you remember where you were?
Daycare.
can't stand you.
No, I think I'll let daycare for that.
Oh, that's too funny. Because you probably was in daycare. Because it's talked about so much that you like don't even realize how long. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's been since that period of time happened, and it was in 1994.
Dang.
June 12th, 1994. So yeah, you was in daycare.
Wait, hold on. I might be in New York actually.
No, you were still in daycare.
No, I was in daycare at that time, but I think I actually might have been in New York.
Oh
yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
So, but I remember I was at home with the verdict. And I mean, like, I remember being like on the edge of my seat, heart pounding, like I had, you know what I mean? Like it was going to change my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like lunch break, so that's why I was at home and and I was happy. And but I remember I went back to work and it was dead silence and somebody was crying.
Dang.
Like, he got away with it. He got away, And so, I mean, if you go on Netflix or anything, it's like so many little documentaries related to this trial. And, some people, adamant that he did it. If you say that you don't think he did it, they think you're a fool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it all goes back to, which I always say, having people, to me, that trial, the prosecutors didn't prove it. And for once, people followed the rules. Because you'll hear people go to trials and it'll be a big trial and then they'll make them guilty. And when they talk to them afterwards, it's because they put together their own story.
Oh, the jurors?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, of course, Mark Furman really messed them up.
You think?
After they had to play the tape and then he got back on there, had to go back on the witness stand. Remember all of that?
Oh, yeah.
So the jurors couldn't hear him say the N word and all of that stuff because they wouldn't let them hear. Remember, he was saying N more than a rap song. And when they, but they would let the jurors hear the part about him saying he never used the word. And then remember when he came back in, he pled the fifth. And they included the question, did you set him up?
That's right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. And so to me, when I look at it, and it was, they put together that FX did that I think it was like a 12-part, maybe 10-part series that FX did, which is really, really good. It's on Netflix if people out there haven't watched it. But they end up showing, going by what some of the jury has said, and the jury, was saying that, and which, made me think when they were in there kind of arguing and going back and forth. If he did it, why is it only a drop of blood at his house?
That's the part that's the part that always got me. Like, it would be blood everywhere.
Right. Everywhere. And I always thought maybe he knew, but he didn't do it. I remember thinking maybe his son did it. Everybody had their own thing. But I do remember asking the question one time, if you could ask God anything and get an answer to it, and you'll be surprised at how many people said, did OJ really do it? This many years later.
Man, I ain't gonna waste it on that.
Right, exactly. So that was the case of the century. That was, of course, number one. So go ahead. One of you guys pick something from the list. We can go all over. Coach, do you remember any of these? Is that why you're not saying anything? Or
I'm listening to y'all. Y'all having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm letting y'all conversate.
So now that you're older, do you know anything about the O.J. Simpson trial? And
I watch all the specials.
Okay. So then how do you feel?
I mean, I think he did it. I definitely think he did it. I just don't think he did it by himself.
I have to agree.
Like, that's where I've always been with it. When I was old enough to gather everything, I was like, I think he did it. I just think he just didn't do it by himself, because you got to think, if he paid somebody to do it, or it was somebody who was just trying to rob them and kill them and keep it pushing, they're not going to do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't care enough. They're not there. They just there to really care. Even somebody paid to kill them wouldn't do it to that level, because I'm just here to get some money. So I'll
let you tell them to. Like, I really hate them because it was just the blood for me. It wasn't enough blood for him to have done all of that, especially when you see the pictures of how much blood they were covered in.
Mm-hmm.
That was the part that that always got me. And I just want to put out there, because we have a diverse listeners, that it wasn't, when people were celebrating OJ winning, people weren't celebrating because they felt like OJ was innocent, because not all people thought he was innocent. They actually were celebrating for all of the black men who they felt were set up. And now we got somebody who the criminal system has treated right, because they didn't have the story put together. And then, like I said, and then Mark Furman sealed the case for him.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the gloves. And it's funny because one time I remember seeing something that said when we cheered, when black people cheered for this case, they wasn't cheering for O.J. Simpson. They were cheering for Johnny Cochran and what this black man was able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, yeah, because he did come on there and made them look at things a different way. Very creative. So, all right. Coach, pick something off the list.
I'm gonna pick something. Only the ones that's highlighted?
No, you can pick any, because I actually did some more research on the ones that I didn't. The ones that were highlighted, I knew a lot about, but you can pick any. Pick any up.
I'm gonna roll.
It's an hour show, bro.
Okay, which Michael Jackson trial are we going? Well, did they specify which Michael Jackson trial, or both of them?
They just said it was the last one when he was dancing on the card and won.
That was bigger than the first one?
I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, because I remember the second one. Like, I watched like them say he was not guilty. Like, I caught that in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so with the evidence that was on, because I really can't remember a lot about it because I think I was kind of like mad about it. Him even being on trial, because I just felt like, they kept using that documentary and he would say it and I'm like, what molester says that they sleep with kids? Like, he's not like, I was like so mad that he was going through that. And just a quick funny story, and then Dee, I saw that you was coming in, but I remember during the trial had just started, and you know how the deacons get up and they be doing that long prayer that you be like, did you pray at home? Hurry up. And the deacon was up there doing the long prayer, and then all of a sudden he broke out, and Lord bless Michael Jackson. They trying to set him up, man. People's eyes got to opening up and looking around like,
yeah. No. No, that's funny.
Yeah, but when you watch the what's it called them, they was saying, Johnny Cochran Church was praying for him, but okay, Michael Jackson.
That's different praying for Johnny versus
Mike. Okay. No, it ain't. But go ahead. What did you think about it, Dee? Michael Jackson.
I'm something happened, I think, but whether it was molestation or just the kids thinking it's inappropriate because he a grown man, you know what I'm saying? Nothing might have actually transpired, but it's just the fact that he's a grown man. I'm at home. I mean, I'm in his bed, maybe in the room, not so much in the bed, but in the room. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How we were taught, shouldn't no man be in the bed with you? Shouldn't, you shouldn't be alone with grown people, blah, blah, blah. And then just to think about it after the fact, because most of these people are grown, dang near, when they remembering this tragedy, so to speak. And do you know what I mean? Like, so why didn't they say anything when they was kids, when it was happening to them? Like, we were raised to go straight to our parents if anything happened, and that was that era.
Well, your parent was dropping you off, and they was settling lawsuits, and I think it was Emmanuel Lewis and Macaulay Culkin, and the famous people always have said, no, nothing ever happened. It was like a sleepover. You know what I mean?
Right.
People had sleepovers. He was like a kid in Mrs. Kid's life. That's how I did it. Shame on him, and he would have to pay for it. But I just never would know. I have never known any child molester to get on the thing and say, yeah, I like having sleepovers with boys. I just never have heard that.
As much as you watched.
Right. Coach, you said that you watched the trial. So what did you get out of it?
No, what I think, like, just off the trial, like, I think one thing that's never really truly talked about is Michael's psyche through this whole thing. Like, we applying regular logic to the situation. I think that's pretty much how the case was even built, was just those kids were there. He had to have been doing something because they there enough, compared to people totally don't acknowledge Michael wasn't right in the head. Like, Michael didn't have it all there.
Right.
Clearly. So in Michael's head, Michael thought that he was a kid. That's why he was interacting with kids like that. And if anything did happen, I think if anything did happen, it's because he thought of himself as a child compared to actually, I'm about to molest somebody.
Yeah.
That's deep. Right. And that is a really good perspective on that. That's a really, really good perspective on that. Yeah. All right. Dee?
I'm going to say, this is Scott Peterson, punk A.
You think Scott did that?
Man, you know Scott did that.
Scott did that.
Man, Scott did that. I'm sorry. Man.
Why would you do that? You're a sociopath to do that.
Yes. And the killer part is, the lady was pregnant.
Their first child. Connor. Yeah. We know the name. Remember? Right. Y'all still remember the name, and I don't even have that written down. I remember the baby name was going to be Connor.
Leave me. I
don't think it was over the woman, though. Like,
over a woman.
He was over
But
there.
the woman didn't.
no, he was messing around with a woman. I don't think that that's what caused him to do that, though. He had messed around on her before. So I don't think that ugly lady wouldn't have caused him to do that. He just didn't want to be bothered with family no more.
But I think she might have been putting it down on him, so you know.
Yeah, the uglier ones usually do. You know, they make up for it in other places.
They gotta make up for it.
Yeah, they definitely make up in other places. You gotta think like
that's funny.
Yeah, you gotta think some people, they overthink it to the point where it's like, you know, she just gotta die. Like he thinking like, man, I'm gonna have to deal with her. I got this kid. She gonna take everything I got. She gotta die. Compared to, you know, we could figure this out.
Right.
You gotta be you have to really be sick and sad to do that to your wife. But if you watch some documentaries on that, they'll show that it was other murders of people breaking in people's houses and killing people right around their neighborhood that they never associated or looked at as that she could have been involved with that.
There wasn't nobody pregnant. There wasn't no kids. She was full pregnant. Like,
yeah, she was due any day. That's why everybody was so worried. Remember, the mom was saying that, you know, like, matter of fact, the baby, when they found her, wasn't the baby whole, but she wasn't?
I think so. That's the part that made me be like, that's him. He was mad at her.
No, because he killed her and then the baby came out. Because I was kind of thinking at first, when they first did it, I was like, oh, is this one of these crazy women, you know, going to somebody's house and, killing them and taking their baby and then...
doing a whole Lifetime movie.
Right. You know, that was a thing for a little bit.
Yep.
So, how did they put it? Oh, the boat.
Yeah. Yep. It was a boat and his cell phone.
Okay. Because he went fishing. It was like Christmas Eve. I remember it was a holiday. He went fishing and they were saying how cold it was when he went fishing. I remember it was some of that. But like people like that just don't want to be bothered. Like I couldn't see it being Amber. And then I think that's what probably, you know, made the jury want him to probably be electrocuted. He was talking to the girl on the phone while he was at the vigil, remember?
Yes. See.
Yep, the news people was already like watching him and following him and all of that stuff, and then they caught him. That was like crazy. So, all right.
He got married in jail.
Yeah, people love Scott Peterson.
Yeah. But like, it's funny that like we, at least me and Nikki, acting like we don't know somebody personally who done something very Scott Peterson-esque.
And why you have to throw me in there?
Because you know I can't be the only person knowing them.
He dyed his hair blonde and tried to.
Yeah, he had all that cash money to get away, and but that was sad. That was sad. All right, I'll pick mine, and I'm going to pick John Allen Muhammad.
That was the snipers, right?
Yep, the DC snipers. I think these may have been the first serial black people, because remember that's what took so long. 10 people ended up getting killed, and it was just in a month span. 10 people killed, 3 injured. They were just shooting them, hiding and shooting it from gas stations. And
it was in the back of a car in a trunk.
White van.
Yep.
And nobody, when they did the profile, This is a white, middle-aged white man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they was concentrating on. That's what they was looking for. And there was this brother and his girlfriend's son that he had raised like his own and broke that young man in that.
Man.
That was crazy. Because remember, it was like people would be at the gas station and
Get popped.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I was like a sheriff or detective and they showed me that they was black, they would have took at least a couple hours to convince me. This is them. Would you stop playing? People dying.
We ain't got time for this. We gotta catch somebody.
And I think that might have, that probably is what happened. Because they rely on those people so much to, okay, tell us who this is. What's the profile for this? Because there's so many little profiles. So, they gotta put put a profile with it. But I think that was the first time, African Americans, we was like, what? They black?
Right.
They ain't do that. They ain't do that. And then the young dude told us everything. And it was like, oh, we don't do stuff like that.
And they had a movie.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it came, maybe like a year after it happened.
Yep.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I did when I was out researching the list, I did see where the youngest guy, he used all his appeal rights because he was trying to not get life sentence. Because remember, a lot of people were saying he was so young, that he shouldn't get the same time as the John Allen. But the young man got life in prison, and John Allen and Muhammad got he should be executed, but he's not executed yet. So
yeah, yes, he was 18, but somebody that's like a father figure to you is telling you to do this.
I thought he was younger than 18.
By the time the trial happened, he was 18. And that's why they ended up doing him as an adult, because he was like 17.
Well, they did that one young man in Detroit, young boy 12, playing with a gun on the roof and accidentally shot somebody. Yeah. That hurt my heart.
Yeah.
And they did him, and then he get out after I've been rooting for him, and get out and go right back in.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
That's what I was saying.
Stupid, or did he?
No, something stupid. But life will teach you that. So the young man, ouch. The young man, where is he? I had just saw his name and I passed it by that quick because it came right up, put their name together. Because he was a Muslim man, married. Oh, remember, that was the thing. I'm glad this came up. Remember, this is why they couldn't catch him. They were so smooth with it. Remember, he was a skilled marksman.
Yep.
And that's why they was, this is a white guy, blah, 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 blah. But he had served in the Gulf War in Germany. So he knew, he knew.
All the tricks.
Yep.
Wow.
He sure did. Lee Boyd Marvel was the younger guy's name, but it still don't say how old he was. That was sad though. That was almost crazy because them people were scared because it was just happening so random. You never knew when it was gonna happen, and it wasn't even like the same area or nothing. So, all right. Coach,
you sure it's on me again? I think it's on you now, Nick.
I just did it. I just did John Allen. Diddy did
Right.
Scott Peterson. You did Michael Jackson.
Ha 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 ha. Cool.
Don't do my RC. I'm doing RC.
Dang,
RC Cola.
You could do whoever.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna even take that from you because I know that's your people's.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be messed up.
Right. She might be at your house. Don't do that.
I'm gonna go with Loretta Bobbitt. I thought it was Lorena Bobbitt.
I
Me
did
too.
too. They probably got it wrong.
Yeah.
I ain't even researched nothing about her because I figured we weren't going to even
Well, we
talk
know
about
that.
that.
First, and we know it off the top of our head, so.
And she got away with it too, didn't she?
Yes.
So what was she? Why did she do it? Did she say
I think
her
he
husband was
cheated on her.
cheating on her, or was she saying he was raping her?
No, he cheated on her.
And she got off?
Yeah, because it was like a mental. She snapped.
Wow, that's a snap for your behind. And then they sew it back on.
Yes, he became a porn star.
Who?
The dude, John. That's the best part of the whole story. Yep.
What?
Yep.
See, no, she was saying that. She was saying that he was raping her and beating her and sodomizing her. That's why she did it.
Oh. Yeah, he made her have he made her have an abortion, and yeah. But he was cheating too.
They both was crazy. Because didn't they try to be together after it?
Yes. And then
I thought so.
The reason why.
Nah, anybody. Go ahead,
I forgot. What'd you say, Coach?
No, I'll tell you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know what it was. They ended up asking both of them to be on Oprah afterwards, and he didn't want to do it, but she did. And then that's when they started to miss money, then she got bad.
And her name is Lorena. This list spelled her name wrong, just for the record, Coach.
Oh, it is Lorena. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Lorena. Lorena. Yeah. And she explains why she will never remarry. Because don't nobody want to marry?
Yeah, right. You're not trying to get down with that, man. I can go to sleep around you. What the heck?
At all. Ain't no worse than being with somebody who you can't have an opinion with.
Oh, go to bed. Be locking doors and stuff.
Man. Why you
better sit down if you want.
Like, right.
There's time for that.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Dee.
Funny. Hold on, let me get the name right before I say it. John Gotti.
John Gotti. The mob guy.
Yes. So, like about 8 things on that. I'm surprised that the dude that snitched on him, Sammy the Bull, is still alive. I really am.
Witness protection.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
And, he got a
now. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Coach. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like he did one last interview under his previous face. And then after that, he got surgery. So he had a witness protection program and he got surgery. Like
and then his daughter go on Mob Wives. So I'm like, do you talk to you? But she, we knew who her dad was, but she didn't say if she had a relation, if she could still talk to him, because there was a couple of them who didn't even want to be around her at first. Because they was like, she could snitch like her daddy could snitch.
Exactly.
We were supposed to be family, and my dad in jail because of your dad. John Gotti, he passed away too, didn't he?
Yeah, like 2002.
Yep.
No, because like a lot of people, they still have relationships with their family. Like, do y'all know who Nikki Barnes is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was a big time drug dealer, snitched on people. He is in witness protection, and he got a relationship with his daughters.
Okay.
Wow. I don't know. I have to just be like, yeah, that's my dad. Why? I don't know. Man, mess around and get a stray bullet, mess around with that, man, please. Write me.
Your daddy?
Yes.
Speaking of daddies, today is my daddy's birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
All right.
But did you ever look at John Gotti's mugshot picture?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Freaking hilarious.
He knew he had some bond money.
Exactly.
And a whole bunch of other money because his daughter still lives a fabulous life.
He's still living right. Exactly.
No, because a lot of mob people now are, like, their children are like politicians now.
I know, ain't that crazy?
Yeah. Like, that's pretty much where all the mob family has went to now, which is politics. They all like governors, mayors, like they really.
So basically, they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's like the Kennedys. Like, that's pretty much what everybody's talking about. Like, how the dad, he, was a bootlegger at the time, was a real gangster, and then like his family, all his sons became politicians.
That's crazy.
And now they all really do it a lot now.
Wow. But wasn't he one of the ones that like they were trying to get forever and couldn't never get, and then that's why it was so big when they finally had proof to get him. What did they get him with? What was his charge?
Conspiracy, I want to say.
On 12 murders.
And like running like a continual. Nope, I don't even think they got him on running a continual criminal enterprise. I think it was really just the murders this time.
Conspiracy, yep.
Because they ended up finding like a good place to put their wiretap, and they heard everything. Like at one of his restaurants, like they could never get it just right, but one day they ended up getting it just right on him. And then once Sammy the Bull ended up testifying too, then it was like it was no way he was getting out of that.
Because he had life in prison, and then they had told, oh boy, Sammy, we'll put you in protection if you do help us out. He was like, he liked family. I don't know if you saw the movie on it, but he liked family. I can't do that. And
well, he couldn't. He did it though.
No, but Gotti was gonna kill him anyway.
Right, because he even talked to them.
Yeah, because here it is right here. I like Googled them, and they showing all of these cases he had that he got acquitted on. Federal racketeering, conspiracy charges. So he walking out of prison a whole bunch of times just laughing at these fools.
Yep.
So you got to get somebody to tell, and that's what people don't be realizing. The police, you do the police work for, like, that should be the easiest job in the world besides these fools just pulling out guns on kids. Because people do the work for you by telling. If everybody went in there and didn't say nothing, nobody get caught.
Man, all you gotta do is walk up in there with a Coke and a cigarette and say, your boy done told me everything. That'll break the
that's how they get him too. He blaming you. What?
I ain't do that. He know he did that. Like
right.
Touch the wire.
No.
Okay. All right, let me tell y'all something. This is how they started season 5. Right, they brought in, it was 2 younger people, and they separated them. And he is like, your boy, he told us everything already. All we got to do is get him some McDonald's, like a Big Mac, large fry, large Sprite. You know how he like it. So, so what they did was they gave the dude the food, and they opened up the door so he could see his boy walk past with the McDonald's. And they said, I'm like, hey, you like your food? And he said, he's like, I don't care what y'all say. I still ain't saying nothing while he eating McDonald's, but his friend didn't hear that. He just saw him with the McDonald's. So he's like, man, how you gonna do me like that? And then
and told on himself.
Tell us. So he like, I ain't telling y'all. So what they did was they had him put his hand on the printer, like the scanner on the printer, and they had 3 pieces of paper. One said, they had 2 that said true, and then lie. So they said, is your government name Brian Williams? He was like, yep. Did the scanner. True. Okay, he telling the truth. Okay, is your address 3428 Bridgeport? Yep, that's my address. And then the last one, did you shoot down Malik Parker? Nope. Lying. We know you lying. Dang, yeah.
No, that's funny.
And it should be against the law. Don't come lying to me if you ain't, that. Don't try to trick me.
You lying to them?
I would be so, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Who? Mm-mm. Can't help you.
That is funny.
Nope. Don't know you. All right. Is it my turn?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy McVeigh.
I don't know who that is.
Timothy McVeigh.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you
the
do.
one who killed 168 people, went to the federal building in Oklahoma and shot up the building, and the people, he was mad because he was discharged for the Navy for being allegedly gay. You remember Timothy McVeigh?
No, I didn't know that. And Dee Dee, why are you gonna say, yeah, you know him like that's our cousin?
I know. I'm like,
my daddy's side.
You know that's Melissa's son. Like, no.
Yep, 100. I remember when that happened. That was like they was going, trying to be on all federal buildings because they were trying to see what was going on. But he was just mad. They had did him wrong. He felt. That's when they did the and he looked scary too on his thing, and they they ended up. So that happened which is the fastest ever, but it happened in 1995. So yeah, you would have been, but they killed him in 2001. I ain't never seen nobody get killed that quick.
I know. But did he say he did it?
Yeah, he said he did it.
That's probably why it happened so fast. What are you gonna appeal against?
No, he probably wanted to die anyway. But yeah. He got them. That's sad, though.
Because he was getting haunted.
No, because they discharged him for allegedly being gay. Somebody said that he was gay.
No, I'm saying he probably getting haunted in his sleep by all the people he killed.
He did.
No, before he died. That's why he probably didn't.
No, them people don't be haunted. Them people be sleeping good until a mouse or something come in that cell. Or somebody beat him up.
Yeah, they ain't got no attachment to them people.
Right.
Look at the thing.
And he felt some part of him felt like, y'all did me wrong. I signed up. I'm fighting and serving and doing my job. And because somebody say that I'm gay, because it never was proven, I don't think nobody came out and said they slept with him. I think somebody was saying that he made a pass at them. But that's probably why Clinton came up with that don't ask, don't tell type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
No, but I don't see why he couldn't have been here even if he was gay. Like, gay people could shoot too.
Right.
Back in the day, that's not how they...
No, and Trump trying to stop that right now.
Man, he a dumbass, that's why.
I know. All right, go ahead, Coach.
All right. I have my next one already on deck too.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. One of these sound very familiar to me. Wait, Saddam Hussein went on trial?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When? When was it?
Let me see. I didn't even look him up. I didn't think we were going to talk about him. Wait.
No, we probably not. I'm just really just trying to confirm for this one.
Yeah, but go ahead with your was that the one you was picking?
No, I was just like that name been like always, that name just kept like bugging me out. I was like, when did he go to trial?
Oh yeah, they captured him and let me see. That he got executed.
His was speedy too.
After he spent 9 months on the run, then he was captured in 2003. Then they began his trial. Eventually made him pay for his crimes. So.
Okay. All right, let's go with Robert Blake.
All right.
That sounds very familiar to me. Why does it sound familiar to me, ladies?
Robert Blake, you probably don't remember the show. It was an old show. I want to say it was Beretta. And it was
Mm-hmm. You're correct.
really, he was a really cool guy. Everybody knew him from acting. Plus, he had act on some other stuff. And then he married a younger woman that wasn't about nothing. Seemed like she might even been an ex-hoe or something like that. But
A prostitute or a HO?
a prostitute.
Okay.
But he was asking for a divorce. She wouldn't move out, so she moved in the guest house. He was in a regular house.
Mm-hmm.
But they were still supposedly doing stuff together. They went to dinner. He said to her, "Let me go get the car." And when he pulled, they parked all the way down the street and around the corner. And when he went and got the car and came back around the corner, she was dead. Somebody had to came by and shot her. He got off too.
How with that?
Mm-hmm.
They were not guilty. They couldn't prove he did it. And he had a lot of guns. I do remember that he had a lot of guns. He was older too at the time, but
Mm-hmm. Didn't he get he went to trial and the case got dismissed, and then he went back and got found not guilty, right?
I think they was trying to do it, and then they didn't have enough evidence, and then they felt like they had more evidence, so then they went back, and he got not guilty.
Yeah.
Like people like because I don't want to say whenever
This was after OJ. This was after OJ. Right after OJ, it was.
No, because I don't want to say like a name on our list, but like when people be doing that to their partner or like their ex, where like they'll, hey, let me leave for a second, then they end up dead. Like that's just sloppy. Like if I was gonna do that, which I wouldn't, I would be with him.
He was.
Like no,
and matter of fact, this is the even funnier part.
How? Like
right.
No, like I'm not coming. Like my thing is though, I'm just planning on outliving the people that I don't like.
But here's the funniest part of the whole thing, which nothing, I guess her family don't think nothing funny about it. But one of the reasons why he got off is because they said he always carried a gun with him, and people were testifying to that. However, when they went to the restaurant after she got killed, he ended up that night or the night after. The restaurant called. He was calling the restaurant, and they had found his gun. So it was like, oh, he never had his gun on him. He had took it off when he ate. That was like one of the defense's things. And the restaurant could testify. Yeah, we found it. It was in the booth. They nasty tails. Because y'all ain't cleaning these booths. And yeah, so they was trying to
I think that was part of his cover up though. Because
you really think so, Dee?
No, I'm saying, but why would you leave it there out of all places where you have to pick it up? That was stupid on his part. Yeah.
And she was trying to get half. They hadn't signed a prenup. This was money motivated. Like, I'm not sharing with this prostitute.
Yeah, like, okay, like, I'm not in that situation. Like, of course, like, if you marry somebody to prenup, you gotta go half. But, like, I can't outlive them. But, like, my only problem is, like, baby mamas. Like, I'm outliving them. Like, I'll be damned they tell my kids about me after I'm gone. Yeah, your daddy wasn't perfect. You could have done a lot of things better. No, I want to be at your funeral. I want to be at your overpass singing before I let go. You ain't about to be doing me dirty.
Oh, I'm done. I am done.
Most people probably feel that way before I let go.
But I ain't never heard nobody say it out loud.
Right.
Talking at the funeral. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going up there. I already know what I'm saying. I'm like, I told myself I wasn't going to cry. Because God did this. So
I'm going to be in the back. Take your time, coach.
You said, what you going to do what?
Be in the back. Take your time, coach.
That's what it's about. Her doing this, her doing that, because she gone now. And she happy. Now on the count of 3, I want y'all to sing, ho, ho. You make me happy.
I'm not even laughing at that mess. Come on, Dee Dee, you next. What you picking on the list?
Because I can just see.
Because you know I'm not playing. I think I'm smiling, but I ain't joking.
Oh,
You make me
Coach, I
happy
know
at the
it.
count of 3. Why would we be singing that?
Oh my gosh. I know where you are.
I wanna love you. Everybody getting that dance. You should know. Oh my goodness, somebody gonna listen to this show. And watch that's gonna be the song that we see on Facebook.
Exactly.
Somebody's killing.
No, the thing is, the thing is gonna happen is if they slip and fall at the mall, somebody gonna think I had something to do with it.
Right?
You don't even care.
And we gotta make alibi.
I got mine already.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Dee Dee, I don't know if you secure, Dee Dee. You the way you hollering and laughing and take your time, coach. They think all that's like practice.
I it up a little bit too much. Go ahead, coach. Pow, pow, pow.
All righty.
Oh shoot.
All right, Dee Dee.
Let me go on and pick Casey Anthony's stinking tail.
Oh,
that wench.
Trife.
Man, if I ain't ever want to punch a baby mama in the face, that would be her.
No, it's the jury who I want to fight because
I know
it was just too much evidence. I don't see how nobody could say that this girl was not guilty about this. You let your daughter stay in a trunk, lied, took the police on this scavenger hunt. I work here. She doesn't work here. My babysitter lives here. We've never seen her before. Just standing, and remember, everybody was saying she was giving the baby Xanax and gave her too much. And out partying.
And then after the baby died, she turned up at Walmart.
I mean,
or Target, one or two.
And went to her boyfriend and stayed the nights, remember? Like, wasn't nothing going on.
And when your mama think you guilty, you're guilty.
You guilty.
Her mama the one who made her crazy, though. Because now her mama got the nerve to get mad when you say she guilty. And the mom and daddy still together. I don't see how.
But the mama was like, something is wrong with my baby. So where's my grandbaby?
Right.
She was the one pushing it.
Remember, she called and said, that's how they found out, remember? We just got a call about my daughter's car being towed, and it smells like a dead body in there. And my granddaughter, I don't know where my granddaughter is. And she totally changed. And then Casey Anthony, lawyer, flips the script and blame the daddy.
Yeah.
They are throwing molestation and anything. And they're supposed to give people a pass for doing stuff. Remember, he was graphic. He was like, Casey Anthony she knew how to pretend well because one minute she had a D in her mouth and the next minute she was going to school. What?
That's how they be, too. That's how they be.
Her daddy was devastated. He cannot stand Casey. She cannot come in their house.
I ain't mad at her.
She was living with that attorney.
Thanksgiving?
She went over there for no Thanksgiving.
No, I'm asking you. I was like, you was over there for Thanksgiving? She's like, her dad won't even talk to her.
No, because the mama still talked to her and wanted her to come, and the dad said she not welcome. You ain't seen none of their interviews?
Nah.
Mama done gained so much weight, she don't even look the same. The daddy looks exactly the same because he know who did that.
And the mama
was so sad because he tried to kill himself, and then that's why they were saying he tried to kill himself because he did it. They know they have
No,
flipped the
he
script.
did that because that man is sick. His heart is broken.
Mm-hmm.
And that little girl was so cute.
Or it was.
But remember, they never even knew who the daddy was. Casey never had to tell them who the daddy was.
Sure didn't.
That might.
Remember, the whole family was like, she pregnant. And the mama was like, no, she not.
Yep.
That mama was crazy. She the one who did that. They did a Law and Order based, around that. And it actually turned out to be a really good episode.
I think I remember that.
But, yeah, that was devastating. I think that may have been. It's been a couple of times that I've cried about something that I ain't had nothing to do with it, and it would be Casey Anthony, and when they Trayvon Martin. I remember crying so hard when Trayvon Martin was not guilty. That man was not. George Zimmerman was not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that was the part that made Nico like start paying attention. Because of how hard I was crying. It was just like, they just said that this little black boy life don't matter.
Yep.
So sad. So sad. All right. Okay. Ray Caruth. So Ray Caruth, at the time of Ray Caruth's trial, this is when Court TV was popping, and they supposed to be coming back, just for the record. People like me who love stuff like that. But he, at the time, I had broke my ankle, my right wrist, and I was off of work.
I remember that.
I watched the trial every day from start to finish. So it was like I was in the courtroom, so I know all the stuff that happened. And then they came back with a guilty verdict.
You don't think Ray Caruth
Wait, you don't think he did
anything to do with that?
Nope.
Oh, come on, Nick.
What?
I don't. Nope. I think that big guy was lying and just crazy and acting passionate, and they fell for it. Because people like to stick to the part where she calls 911 and she says that my baby daddy was in front of me. People love that. But I've been on the road before, driving down the road, and somebody will call and my sister be in front of me, and where's she at? She in front of me. That don't mean we right in front of each other. I might not be able to see her.
Okay.
She just in front of me. I don't think that they proved it.
Okay.
I'll say it that way.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Maybe should have asked this question way before now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like a brother, a very close male friend, or anybody of that nature in prison for a said murder?
No, what would they got to do with Ray Caruth?
Because it's just like I don't see it. It's like everything is there.
No, because you know what? Because I don't try to put stories together. People get in the jury room, and that's why I want to be on a trial. That's what's wrong with our system. People get back in the jury room, and they put together the story of what happened. I go by what's presented. Why would he be worried about having to pay $5,000 more of child support? And he making that much money?
He wasn't making that much money. He was pretty much on his way out the NFL.
No, he wasn't. The year before, he had did really well. Yes, he did. It was the year before that when he was injured. That year, he had did really well.
No, I didn't. I was just watching the special. They said Ray was on his way
I
out.
saw the trial from beginning to end. Remember, I just told you that? There were a lot of rumors out there.
When was the trial, Nikki?
When I broke my wrist.
What year was this?
Let me go to the year.
Because I know the year. I just want you to say it.
Let me see. Here go Ray right here. I rode Ray a couple of times, too.
What?
I was going to ask that, too. But thank you.
Yeah, I did. Why would I? Because he got out in October the 22nd. Look at Ray looking good too when he got out. And see, that was the other thing. People were so mad because he had women after women after women. They shouldn't have had all them women coming to testify. That messed him up too. They just figured he was a ladies' man. So that was in 2001.
So you seen this trial 18 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You could have had a child that year, and it would be an adult. Mm-hmm. You remember all of this.
Yep, I remember. Some stuff you just don't forget. We all just remember where we was when OJ was. You even remembered you was in New York and not at the daycare.
I'm just going by the dates here.
And not the daycare. Everybody remember because I had watched that whole trial. I was invested in that trial. And, you know, nobody should lose their life, but when you're going after somebody thinking that you're going to get something, you may get something more than you bargained for. Trying to chase that money.
With Ray Caruth, I'm off the show because I ain't going to be in a position where I can't talk back.
Who you telling?
I said, if you do a Ray Caruth, I'm off the show because I ain't about to be in a position where I can't have an opinion and speak my mind.
If I get with Ray Caruth?
Yeah. I don't want to be like, hey, y'all, we recording at 8. I mean, y'all, let's record at 8:30. No, I think it should be 8. Well, if you feel 8 is the best time, Ray.
See, that's the thing that people, Ray was very charming. That's why he had all of these women. Ray was very charming and engaging.
He was in North Carolina. Like, they ain't really got too many kids.
Before that, remember he had his first baby, high school.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had his first child, high school. You know, they see money, and so he was taking care of that child. Set up a little, that was when webcam first came out, little computers with the webcam on there. That's why it's like one other child. And then that baby looked just like him.
So exactly like him.
Chancellor looked just like him.
Oh, that baby looked just like him.
Mm-hmm. He been spending time with Chancellor.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Because I remember, like, it was, like, up in the air.
No, the grandmother said that she's been forgiving him. Mm-hmm. She knew probably where their daughter was, but she's a Christian, so she had been forgiving him.
Okay.
Yeah, but gotta look at the evidence, people. Don't always look at little snippets of what you see on the news. You have to look at the whole thing to know what happened. I could go on a show and do an interview about this. You know how they be having people, you know, to say what happened? Yeah. Where they went wrong at? Because they gave him, because it wasn't even right the way that his, the trial gone. You can't give him discharging a firearm and he didn't have a gun.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It was like, it was really stupid. They didn't give him the murder. They gave him the conspiracy to commit, but then that wouldn't have given him enough time. So then they added, what they did was, which that's the part that makes me mad with jurors. They get in these rooms, they ready to go. So then they start making these stupid deals. Well, what if we charge him with this instead of this? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's really what happened with his case. Because he had no gun, so how are you charging him with discharging of a firearm when we know he wasn't the one who did the shooting? You can't. But it was somebody who said, you know, let's charge. So, all right, so it's time for us to kind of start wrapping this up, but let's throw in one more, the Lau and Eric Hernandez.
Oh my gosh.
I know that one right there, I really struggle with because I don't think they were lying. And I think that, you know, the first time they got acquittal, so then when you get them second trials, they know what you coming with, so now we could be prepared for that. That's why I don't like how, when you acquitted, they can keep doing the trial until they get you, get the right jury. But if they say a jury of my peers, get a jury of their peers who's rich, young, because then they understand. You're getting poor people who think because they went and bought a Rolex watch after their parents died, they weren't, they weren't grieving or, something like that. No, people buy Rolex watches who have lots of money. But I know a broke brother who got a Rolex watch.
I know 2 broke brothers who got a Rolex watch.
Yeah.
But
I don't agree with that. Like if my mom or dad passed, like I'm gonna get a fur. It's a cold world now.
You gonna get a what?
I said I'm gonna get a fur. It's a cold world now.
Yeah,
dude.
That's why I gotta lay my stuff out. You gotta be laying it out, putting just like you showing up. But that's what they concentrating on. Like this isn't anything new, and so that's why I say they need somebody at their peers, because those people looked at it as if I would do it for money. They didn't look at it as if these people are rich regardless. And now you got family testifying that they knew that this was happening. And now I could even see if they said not guilty for the mama. I mean, not guilty for the daddy, but not guilty for the mama. Because remember, they only killed the mama because they said she couldn't live without the daddy because he had and drove her crazy and had on all that medicine. But he had all of them. And then the psychiatrist's girlfriend listening at the door to call the police. That's wrong.
True.
To me, that shouldn't have even been able to be in during the trial. That should have been excluded from the record. You listening at the door, that's a HIPAA violation. To tell what you did and then try to blackmail the man, remember?
Yeah.
But y'all go ahead, because I got just some deep feelings on that. But y'all, what do you guys think about Lyle and Eric? One, let me just say this. It's always one weak one. Shut up! Shut your damn mouth. That's why we did it together as brothers. Now your ass to sit up here and told somebody that's why we in jail. Okay, go ahead.
I would like to make sure I clarify when Nikki B said we did this together. It did not involve Coach nor DD. Again, did not involve Coach or DD.
Facts.
Go ahead, DD.
Oh, but you're going to be hollering out DD in the back. Take your time, Coach, but I can't say this. Okay, I got you guys. Go ahead.
Because I don't be getting the car ready for us to go get our Rolex.
Right. So, Dee, what did you think about the case?
I think they did it.
Oh, I know they did. We all know they did it. But did they have just cause to do it?
I think they wanted the money, but just the money.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
They together. They thinking.
They're getting money already.
No, they on an allowance.
Yeah, but they're flying private jets and private tennis matches.
Right, but think about it. We thousandaires. They was millionaires. And when you grew up with that lifestyle, going to a tennis lesson, that's, in their eyes, that's supposed to happen. That's like, give it. I mean,
but you're still doing that. Their allowance was a lot.
I know.
They didn't need the money. They, of course, don't get the money. They didn't need the money.
But I'm saying they might not have needed it.
They did it for the money?
Yeah.
I'm asking Coach.
Oh.
Definitely. That's the only way that's the reason why to do it. But I don't know. It's tough, but money is usually
What?
a big factor for that type of stuff. Because the thing is, like, because I've seen it a couple times where privileged kids have killed their parents just to get money. Because the thing is, like, being privileged is really like a double-edged sword. You know
It's
what I'm
not
saying?
like somebody
Like,
kids.
I know, like they just really just open my door, like really like
And having to fight it sounds like.
like a single mom. They daddy just would step up. But,
Oh my gosh.
but but no, like I've seen it like the kids have killed their parents for money. Because the thing is like being privileged is like a double-edged sword. Like because the thing is you want your kids to be privileged, but then if you raise them too privileged, they want stuff, but they don't want to earn stuff.
There you go.
Okay,
That's the
so.
difference.
Well, I think that the father was abusive and put a lot of pressure on them and was sexually abusing them, and they needed help, and that was the reason for them doing it. I never thought that they did it for the money, because I don't see why. They was driving nice, dressing nice, getting a nice allowance. Why I gotta kill them for the money? That was a revenge, I hate you type of killing. So we're gonna wrap this up because Coach Kids keep coming in and
No, we over. That's the thing. Like I can only hold it down for so long.
yeah.
He's
Coach,
in there. I know he's in there. You open the door. No, you open the door.
all right, exactly. So so thanks again to Team Marshall and Say It Out Loud Comedy Show for sponsoring this week's episode 43 of Nikki B and Friends, the 20 biggest trials in the past 20 years. So, comedy show at Ambrosia Theater, and that's on Lake Drive, 959 Lake Drive Southeast, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Saturday, August the 17th. 2 shows. 7 o'clock and 9:30. 6:30, the door will open for the 7 o'clock show and 9 o'clock for the 9:30 show. Tickets are first come, first serve. They have been selling out of tickets. So please get your tickets early, and there will be light refreshments, free parking, and a 50-50 raffle. You can call 616-710-7596 or 616-340-0409 or go online to ambrosiatheater.com and purchase your tickets there. Thank you all. Thank you again to Team Marshall and Say It Out Loud for sponsoring episode 43 of Nikki B and Friends. Let's hurry up and give our final remarks, and we will start with Dee Dee because Coach is on mute again because of his kids. Go ahead.
Debunk that one.
Oh, shoot.
Closing remarks?
Oh, my gosh. Well, if you're going to commit a crime, you better make sure you watch Law and Order first so you know what not to do.
No. If you're going to commit a crime, shut up. Don't tell nobody. Don't get nobody else involved. Everybody ain't got the heart to do what you doing. People talk too much. Everybody who get caught is because they told somebody and somebody told somebody else. Keep your business to yourself. That's the problem. People talk too much. Shut up. Coach?
As a law-abiding citizen who doesn't agree with all the views of the show, don't kill people. Kill the game. That's what I got.
Now, I'm not condoning no killing. Let me do some more. I'm not condoning any killing. Nobody should be out here killing anybody. But if you just so happen to, shut your damn mouth. And please follow us at Nikki B and Friends on Facebook at NIKKI B and Friends.
leave comments and feedback. You can also follow us on our Instagram at Nikki, NIKKIB_and_friends. Thank you guys for taking time to listen, and we appreciate you, and continue to rock out with us. Be blessed.
Peace.
Peace.